Views, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. I'm your host, Wes Forsyth. The original broadcast date is July 5th, 2024, and I don't know what's wrong, but I had all good intentions tonight of starting the Scarefest Radio podcast back with a live feed from the show, and the software keeps saying it's not available. I have no idea why, so I'll upload it, and so you can still, if in the future you want to listen while you're on the treadmill or driving around and you don't want to watch YouTube while you're in the car, you can listen to Scarefest TV via the Spreaker app, and it'll soon be on iTunes and everything else. Now, that being said, tonight is the council episode for July of 2024, and that means that we are like 3.5 months away. Shh. That's we're down.
And why do you always have to do that?
Well, because it's to remind you, shit's got to get done.
How far? I don't need reminded of how far behind I am.
Okay, and another little thing. Joe Lewis will be in with reviews. He reviews Under Paris, and incidentally, I had thought about watching that. So he says it's a fairly good movie. Spoiler alert. And so I might just watch that. It's on Netflix. When I saw the concept of sharks under Paris, I said, yeah, it sounds a lot kind of like a sci-fi movie, sci-fi network movie. And I said, but.
Well, it took me 3 weeks to finally watch Slaughterhouse all the way through because, Scarlett wouldn't let me watch it. And I enjoy it. I've got it on Blu-ray and it's on Hulu. And I finally made it through the entire thing. And that's been my fun movie for this quarter.
Well, anyway, so, what the hell's going on with Scarefest? That's what everybody wants to know. Let me get my chat room pulled up here. Oh,
yeah, I've got mine pulled up too. I keep switching from light to dark. So this is my face looking at the master chat, and this is my face looking at emails. So you all will know when I'm deviating from paying attention. But no, there's a ton that we can talk about that has been going on this month. I have made some notes, and we are definitely eager to hear any questions that you all have about things that have been announced or things we've talked about on the show previously. Chris Harris says, I will just ignore that Brandon is wearing a Yankees hat. So that's good. I'm glad we are ignoring Brandon. That is a pretty standard business practice around here. So good job.
What? You can't ignore me. I write the checks.
Did you hear something? Oh, yeah, that's true. I should stop. So,
oh, God.
Let's talk about some of the things that have released since the last time we had a Scarefest TV Council episode. Mm-hmm. We are working on getting some new photo ops up. Some have been added. Some of note, the Get Bloody photo op with Danielle and Scout is up. I have all of the information submitted for Kane's photo ops that he's going to be doing this year, but our photo ops people are taking a much deserved vacation right now. So it's going to be a few days, probably before we see those go live, but we will be getting our Kane ops up very soon. That leads me into one of the ops Kane is doing this year is a brand new op he's never done, and it is the unmasked photo op. So it's a pretty well-known picture of Kane where half of his face is his face and the other half is mask. And I think actually I was talking to Mike Aloisi earlier, author Mike, and he was letting me know that he actually owns that photo So anybody that's out there putting it on merch and things like that, you owe Author Mike some money, or at least a shout out. But the mask,
wonder who owned that photo.
it's Mike. And I told him, I said, well, Brandon made us our own for the photo op graphic that we're using. And basically what it's going to be is this mask. This is by Creepy Emporium, Props and Effects. And they are prototyping a mask right now where it's half of the mask. So when Kane has it on, you'll see half of his face for the photo op. So they're working on getting that done. And these masks also made a little teaser this week in the group. You probably saw a photo of this mask on a pretty cool backdrop that had Scarefest weekend on it. These will be a limited item that we will be pre-selling before the show this year. So the mask, okay, cool. Then that's a pretty good. Now this mask was made out of a mold from the screen used mask in part 7. So that's pretty neat. And they're all hand painted and detailed. And we will be selling the stand that you saw in that photo. There's a very limited number of those available, I think. So that will be an add-on option as well. So to recap, Kane's photo ops will be up very soon. The one that he's offering that he's never done before is the unmasked photo. And he will also be offering in costume hatchet photos. He will be offering those as solos and with the group. Hatchet is going to have 4 group photo options for each movie. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 5. So 1 for each movie and then the full franchise. So we have 13 people right now booked for Hatchet. So the big group it's going to be an expensive photo op. It's probably going to land somewhere in the $600 range. Kane will be in costume for that. I'm talking to the other folks to see if they can gather up a Hatchet costume for the group ops. So that is possible, but the details will be released with that when it's posted. Let's see. Okay, so they're talking about trivia in the chat. So that is another thing. We actually created an event on Facebook for trivia, even though, we all knew it was coming. The launch party is going to be held at Lex Live on Thursday night, starting at 7 o'clock. I think if you want to get there and register your team, you need to get there a little bit early. But we are going to be doing 3 prizes for that, first, second, and third, and then also best team name. So definitely check out trivia. Some of our stars that come into town early normally end up over there and hanging out. So that's always a really great time. And if you haven't seen that event, you can go onto our page. I shared it on there. And, maybe if you're looking for a team, maybe somebody on there is looking for another member of their team. So go in the event, post and get your teams worked out. And maybe have a chance at winning a pretty cool prize there.
Or just do like me and show up and get drafted.
There you go.
Yeah, no idea why. I have to share this. This is not a Q&A, people. This is something that just came across my Scarefest message feed. Someone just asked me, when is the event this year? Now.
Oh, Scarefest? When is
Yes,
Scarefest?
to reach us. I'm just going to take you through the logic. What goes through my mind when I see that. And I'm sorry, I bet they're not listening, so I ain't worried about that. If you go on any of our messaging programs, i.e. Facebook Messenger, Instagram, that means you're on our page. That means the goddamn dates are posted all over the page. Or you can go to our website, which is also linked all over the page. I'm just saying, yes, that is where that's why I have anxiety attacks. There.
No, I get it. I get it totally, absolutely. On every single graphic we post, or where is it? Where is Scarefest held? I have no idea. I don't know.
I did get to blame Brandon for that one time because he didn't put the actual Lexington, Kentucky on his early banners when he took over their graphics.
Oh, okay. Well, that was,
There was that one time at Bandcamp.
Right. Okay.
I don't remember that, but I'll take it.
Kelly said, thank you for Casualty Friday, which is another thing that was released this week. And hi, everybody that's just joining. I'm sorry, I can't say hi to everybody individually, but you all are all awesome. And thank you for joining us tonight. So with our events that were launched this week, so we created the event for the trivia, which is an all ages free event. Anyone is welcome to come to that. Now, it is held in the corner bar of Lex Live. So there is alcohol being served there, but it's just like any other bar or restaurant in Lexington or most places probably. It's totally all ages to come in and hang out. So that was one thing that was launched this week. And then our ticketed events that were launched this week, we have Killers on the Rocks, which is over halfway sold out. So if you are, hoping or waiting for something to get your tickets, please make sure that you grab those because it will sell out. It will sell out very quickly. I think there are 11 tickets left, something like that. So it's over halfway sold out. We also launched the tickets for Talk Scary to Me Live and Casualty Friday. If you haven't seen those posts, Talk Scary to Me is the podcast that is hosted by Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton. And Casualty Friday is hosted by Felissa Rose, Tiffany Shepis, and Kane Hodder. So Casualty Friday is going to occur on Friday, and Talk Scary to Me will happen on Saturday. Both of those will start about the end of the show. Now, notoriously, Kane always has a line even after we're ready to close the vendor floor. So he may be a couple minutes past close, but that is something that we're taking into consideration. So just keep an eye out for that, but we should be, ending that right about the same time as the convention ends. And also, if you are listening to this, if you are a platinum ticket holder, you do get a discount to most of the events that we do. If there is a ticketed event that you are looking for, that you'd like to attend, email me and I will give you a personalized discount code for those tickets. So another perk to being a platinum ticket holder, definitely let us know. Let's see. Kristen is asking, what are the event hours for each day? So I have to go and look at this all the time. They're actually at the top of the FAQ on the website.
Yes, we added that last year.
Yeah, if you go to the drop-down menu on the website and you click on FAQs, and it is a little different on mobile than it is on the website, but if this is what your mobile looks like, you will just click these three little red bars at the top and you'll go down to FAQ. And then I cannot believe I'm doing this backwards looking at a screen. Here are hours right here. But just real quick, VIP entry is at 3 o'clock on Friday. General admission is at 4. We close at 9. Saturday, VIP is at 10. We open at 11 and we close at 8. Again, Sunday, VIP is at 10. We open at 11 and we close at 5. So those are the hours and where to find them in case you need, a refresher or need to look, because for some reason, I always think we close at a different time. So I always have to go back and look. I can't get it in my head. We've had these same hours for years and I just can't remember.
I changed the time 10 times last year on every graphic because I kept putting the wrong one.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got like a mental block with that. And I caught several that Brandon did and I was like, stop encouraging me. Like I'm already having a hard enough time with this. So yeah, let's see. All right, we're at 9:16. Do we need to go to a commercial break?
I had not even looked at the clock myself. We'll be right back, everybody.
The Bombs is a 2024 Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendor. The Bombs makes bath and body products for everyone. Ashley Dobbs makes unique small batch hand-painted bath bombs, plus sugar scrubs, whip soaps, and body oils. Find the Bombs on Facebook and at the monthly Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendors make the event happen. Be sure to tell them that you heard it here on Scarefest TV.
Tuesday's Crypt features deals with talents in the horror community, from mask makers, sculptors, artists, and more. Plus, podcast Live in the Crypt, shooting the shiz with BK and the Swag, and BK and the Bees, Horror Buzz. Visit their website, join their Facebook group, and thank them for being a Scarefest sponsoring vendor.
welcome back everybody to Scarefest TV. While we were gone in the chat room, someone asked me, will there be a panel with Shannon and Elizabeth? I'm assuming there will be a screen panel.
Well, I also note of that. Shannon's crossover with Matt is 13 Ghosts, and there are.
Oh well, whatever.
Well, and that's the thing. So I was going to talk about panels, so we'll kind of go ahead and get started with that question. I had a conversation earlier today with someone, and if we have a guest who falls in multiple categories for panels, typically they will only do one. And, there's a lot of reasons for that, but the biggest reason is time away from the table, right? So with Shannon, because her biggest crossover with us is with Matthew and 13 Ghosts, we will probably not be doing that panel because Matthew will be doing a Scream panel. And earlier, I wrote this question down to answer. Barbara asked, what's the biggest grouping we've ever seen? And I think that the Hatchet group this year is it's 13. Terrifier last year, we had 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So I think that this is probably our biggest one is Hatchet. And that is because Adam Green is friends with everybody in the horror con circuit, I think. So he has had all of them play in his movies, which is fantastic. And we love that. But it does make for a big group. So with the panels, we will obviously be doing a lot of celebrity panels. We'll be putting together panels for our biggest reunions that we're doing this year. So we'll have a Hatchet panel. Got to get with Joe Lewis on that because the logistics are going to be a little tricky since there are 13 of them. Not quite sure how we are going to fit everybody in there, but we're going to figure it out. So we'll have a Hatchet, obviously Scream, Fright Night, all of the big reunions we'll do a panel for. We'll probably do a panel for the Michael Myers actors. We'll probably do a panel for Texas Chainsaw. Those are kind of what we're thinking right now. And we'll have some other ones too, not just our celebrity panels. We're going to also be doing a pretty cool YouTuber panel this year. So we have announced the Grim Life Collective. They'll be there. And they'll be on the panel. We're also going to have our local guys, Mike and Jay from We Watched a Movie. And in addition to those folks, we're going to have Killjoy Jake. We're going to have Slash and Cast. And also we're going to get Stephanie Harlow. Now, I don't think we've really talked about Stephanie too much just yet, but we'll be announcing some of her tie-ins, some of the horror things that she works on. She does mostly do true crime on her YouTube channel, but I think there's a lot of crossover. A lot of us that like horror are really interested in the true crime also. And her YouTube is knocking on the door of a million subscribers. So she's really good at what she does. She does a great job. So really excited to have her. And then also my conversation earlier with Mike Aloisi. Mike's going to have some new books coming out. He's got pretty cool exclusive item, which I'll talk more about that soon. But yeah, we're thinking about maybe doing a horror authors panel. So, just a lot of really cool panel interactions this year. And our speakers will be getting up probably in the next week or so. You'll see the speaker schedule posted, and that will have a little blurb about each one and the topic of what they're going to be presenting on. And we had some pretty cool speaker applications this year.
I actually should have had that done today, but I took a nap.
That's okay. I love naps.
I took a nap. I wish I had a better reason for not having that done. But yes, while it was, I got rained out and I sat in my chair and fell asleep. Now, question from the chat room, and we generally get the ticket office open on Thursday for at least VIP, don't we?
I think we're going to
so we'll do that. Yeah, for the VIP and the Weekend Plus, it will definitely be open on Thursday.
Okay.
We haven't decided yet until we get into like how the line's going to look and all that kind of stuff on what we're going to allow for will call and stuff. So we'll get through that once we get a better idea of what the lines building's going to be.
And
Awesome.
one thing they are, because come to find out, her question was about trivia. Barbara's was. So let's kind of go over how we do the trivia on Thursday night. I understand. Yes, it can go in. The teams are like officially 4 people. Is that right?
Yes, up to 4.
Up to 4. And that means if you're sitting at the table with the 4 people, yes, you're as good as them. You just don't get bragging about it. So yeah, that's, we lock that in. What else do we tell them? And then you just sit there and they've got a little screen or big screen. They put the questions up there and.
Well, and I've never really talked to Don. He does, I think it's called Live Action Trivia is what the company is called that does it. I've never talked to him prior to the event about any specifics, like, oh, make sure you cover this movie or this movie. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, if we talk about this one, I'll do great. If anybody brings up Phantasm, I'm as good as toast. But I may shoot Don an email and let him know, our big franchises that we've got coming this year and see if we can get some focus on some of that. And then, hopefully some of the actors or actresses will be in there and you all can really embarrass yourselves if you get the questions wrong. So that'll be something to look forward to. But those are really good. I typically don't get a chance to make it over to trivia. Just it's a really busy time, especially of the evenings. You've got a lot of folks coming in and getting settled and set up and things like that. But I know that it is a really good time, even just going and watching some of the people who are good at trivia. I would be terrible. I have the memory of a gnat. So kudos to you all that do that and do it well.
I need a team because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go for the whole thing. I need a team that is willing to keep a spot open on the hope that I'll be able to come over and then just give some random answers every so often.
like a poll the audience, a phone a friend. Dude, they should have a phone a friend option and Brandon should be that friend.
I'm downloading banners at the moment.
I was gonna say, I think we just turned into roller coasters.
You what?
Our pictures for second on the main feed, Brandon and I turned into roller coasters. Did anybody else see that or am I going nuts? Okay, let's see. Is Nick Castle going to have a photo op available soon? So yes, I actually sent them all of Nick's information back in April. And every so often, me and someone else will go through the list of people we've announced and the list of photo ops that are available. All of Nick's info is on there. He just got overlooked by the photo ops company when they were building the photos on there. So I did bring that to their attention. And once they get back and from their trip, they will get Nick live. I also saw a question about a Jason's group. Yes. Now, with the Jason's group, a lot of people have been asking, will they be in costume? No. The group ops of all of the killer ops, they will not be in costume because not everyone is bringing a costume with them, or they don't, mostly they're just not bringing their costumes with them. For example, like Kane, well, he was in multiple parts also, but he's bringing his Hatchet costume this year. So the group photos of the killers will not be offered in costume. A lot of times those pieces are owned by individuals and they either have to ship the costume in or they travel in with it. So it's just not feasible, unfortunately. Okay, and everybody in the chat did say we turned into roller coasters for a minute. So I'm not crazy. That was a thing that happened.
It's a glitch.
I do want to get people's feedback. I do want to get people's feedback though on the idea that I've been trying to have about. So the groupings, we can't have like all those people in costume. It's just not going to be feasible. Yeah. So with like the Michael Myers folks, like I was going to have each of them hold their mask from like the respective movie.
Someone messaged me and asked if they could bring a mask for each of them to hold.
Well, if I do it, I'm going to get all the trick or treat masks that are licensed, and we'll put them on,
like a head.
Yeah, so like what they can hold it up in front of them, and then like I was thinking about doing the same thing with chainsaws, and then with the Jasons, I couldn't figure out if we wanted to do masks, or if like each of them, like if Warrington had like a pitchfork, and then like we had a machete here and there. Like I'm just kind of playing around with those ideas.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got any, please post it on the fan page.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that, since we're not going to be able to do the in costume ops, I think that adding some props in there, especially like what we talked about with Phantasm, about bringing some spears, and Brandon is super excited about the quad barrel shotgun. So, bringing in some stuff like that, I think it's a really cool way to make the photo op unique. But it doesn't entail bringing in these huge costumes, that it's just a little tough to do that.
And it's time
one of the vendors this year, Scott, like if you guys remember when I was in Chicago and I took that picture with the big, huge chainsaw diorama.
Mm-hmm.
So Scott is a vendor that's coming in this year, and he has these huge, huge pieces and just really cool stuff that I thought about trying to incorporate into the photo ops a little bit. And if it does work out, it'll be pretty cool, because he's got some stuff that I tell you what, it looks like a museum when you come in and look at it.
That is awesome. What is do you know his business name or what booth he's in?
He is, when you first go in, so the entrance, he'll be the first 3 booths on the right. And
okay,
he does not.
The wall, or
yeah. And so he doesn't have a business name. He goes by Scott, and I've just called him in my phone Scott, awesome vendor guy.
Scott, awesome vendor guy. You should have that printed on his hang up for the floor. Okay. Well, I think that is probably a pretty good place to take a break and do.
Yeah, because all the questions in the chat room right now are about photo ops. Every gosh dang one of them. We'll be right back, everybody. We will try to get some of these questions hammered out.
Hey, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Dean. We're the owners of Wicked World Scaregrounds. We have grown to become one of Kentucky's premier haunted attractions.
We've built this beast from the ground up, and now we need monsters to fill it.
We're looking to hire 100 actors and staff for this upcoming season.
We've done our best over the years to keep innovating and improving our layout, design, and customer experience.
We have 3 distinct haunted attractions, all offering a unique experience.
It takes a lot of people to run this show, and we want you.
Whether you're a Halloween enthusiast just looking for a new haunt to call home,
or someone who's looking for a fun, new, and exciting experience, we're the place for you.
Probably my favorite thing about working here is that it's very inclusive and you feel like it's one big family.
It's just easy to get out of your own space, come here, and you get into a new space that is just more welcoming, place for you to be yourself.
Just overall, the creative freedom we get, and it's so fun to create characters the way they allow us to. It's awesome to get to make cool stuff with your friends and just be spooky. It's really great.
I can just be myself. I can be quirky, and I don't get awkward stares, and people just enjoy it.
So if you enjoy Halloween, acting, and all things spooky,
and head on over to tooscary.com and click on the link jobs, and let us know if you're ready to get wicked.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Rue Morgue magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually and join me, executive editor Andrea Subisati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Rue Morgue, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
Our first celebrity announcement of the evening, Ken Page, Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Mr. Ken Page is coming to Scarefest 2024. And for all you Scream fans, the man himself, Lee Waddell, stuntman extraordinaire, Scream 2, The Terminator, End of Days, the Path to War, The Mask. But Lee Waddell, the man behind the mask for Scream, is coming to Scarefest 2024. And then kind of a crossover guest, Scott Tepperman. We're announcing Scott Tepperman tonight. Scott, of course, is from Ghost Hunters International, but also he is making his inroads into the horror industry by producing and directing and acting in independent horror movies. Cruel Summer sequel, and this year, part 3, gosh, what's the name of it? It's part 3, but he came up with a very, very clever name, and that's why I can't remember. It's like Crappy Summer or something. Anyway, it's in the film festival. You'll be able to screen it at the Scarefest.
Pray for fall.
Pray for fall. That's it. Scott Tepperman. Cruel Summer, Pray for Fall. So those are our announcements for the evening. Now, the film festival that I was just kind of tying that into there. We are still taking entries through the month of August. You've got July and August to get your entries in. Yeah. Make sure I get that right. But the Scarefest Horror Film Festival, and if you're just wondering what's going on with that, we have a great independent film festival featuring all kinds of feature films and shorts that are submitted to us throughout the year, and we bring you the best of them. Last time I checked, we were up to 70-some entries, something right around there. And so, yeah, we got to whittle that down to about 20 or something like that to get it fit into the weekend. But it's a great way when you want to get off your feet and sit at the Scarefest. Plug for myself. I will be doing the Sleepaway Camp cosplay at Scarefest 2024. Probably do it on Sunday when nobody's there because I'm kind of shy. But I've reached my goal to do the cosplay just like you see. Bare midriff, cut off my good $25 Camp Arrow White shirt. Breaks my heart. I'm stalled at 52 members of people. If we get to 100 members by Scarefest, I will do that cosplay and I will wear a temporary tramp stamp. Now the thong I can't guarantee you because I haven't been shopping for a while. I'm still wearing it in underwear from 1982. But anyway, patreon.com/ScarefestRadio if you would like to support me. And before we go on to the next one, I do want to add a lot of our podcasts that we're going to be working on over the next 6 months will be available first through my Patreon project. So if you just like me, like hearing my deep looking Kentucky accent, then that will be the place to hear it. We're going to add some, I'm basically bringing back some of my old content that I kind of miss. Gone off topic, paranormal thriller, who knows. The Central KY Mystical Market, Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Want to give you a reminder on that. Clarion Hotel, July 21st this time. July 21st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Check it out at the Scarefest Weekend website. There's a link, or you can find it on Facebook. But don't forget that. July 21st. You didn't see the 5K thing? It's under fundraiser. I know I loaded it. But it's turned out. There it is. Isn't that it? Had one more to give you. And part of what I do in Patreon is I tell you how hard it is to train when you've smoked for 41 years and you're a fat bastard like me. I tell you how hard it is to train to run a 5K. But I will be going once again this month. I've got another one coming up, the Run White and Blue at Coldstream Park in Lexington. Sponsored this month, Mystic Luna. is sponsoring me, making all this possible, and giving me a little support there. And if you want to come watch or, hey, participate, there's a link on my Facebook page and on the website. Participate. You can walk. You can walk the 5K. I would be better. I'd be faster probably if I walked. I learned that last time. But hey, the Enchanted Forest Ball is coming up, of course. The Enchanted Forest. And if you want details on this, they actually do get the website up. MysticLunaEvents.com. MysticLunaEvents.com. But, it is being presented by Mystic Luna. It's going to be a magical evening, July 20th, filled with enchantment and wonder. The event will take place at the Clarion Hotel Conference Center North, where the ballroom will be transformed into a mystical forest setting. A lot of details about what they've got planned for the evening, and it's going to be a hard night for me. They're going to let me start drinking. So it's like day drinking and dancing. So what could go wrong? Adults only event. No one under the age of 21 will be admitted. No exceptions because there is an alcohol cash bar. But don't miss out on this unforgettable night of fantasy and fun. Mystic Luna events. All right, we're back with the council. I haven't looked at the chat room for a while.
Everybody's very excited about the announcements.
Good. I'm going to answer all the photo op questions in one big pile. This is how spoiled kids are nowadays. We used to not even get these things on sale until like 8 days before the con. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
It was. Yeah. It was. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember the days like where, like they wouldn't be up until, like if we were at the end of September, they would be up the first week of September.
Yeah.
And like, God, it's like the dark ages.
I know. You're all spoiled.
Spoiled rotten brats.
Yeah, so that's very true. With the photo ops, we have a ton more to release. Like we have said before, there is a lot of information that goes into those. There's a lot of communication between the guests, their team, us, photo ops, us, the guest and their team. So if there's a question about something, and then some of the group ops aren't up because there are more people to add. So we've been telling you guys, we got more Scream people coming. And look, we just announced another one tonight. So
yeah, and I want to make sure that everyone that watches this and are in the chat room knows what happens. If we have 5 people in a group op, and then we start selling that group op, then we add a 6th person. Guess what? It's not 6 for the price of 5. They have to go through and literally refund all those 5, or all the ones for the 5, and then come back and they tell you, hey, you should buy this one. So yeah, that's why we can't do it. It's hard. It's hard.
I always tell people like all the moving parts to this, like there's stuff that you can't even think of that comes up in trying to get it all together. And I've always said it's like trying to thread a needle while having a colonoscopy. And like,
which is hard to do because you're under anesthesia when you have colonoscopy.
Well, without anesthesia, I'll preface it with that.
Oh.
But yeah, that's
what would people be willing to pay
to
watch me get a colonoscopy and thread a needle? I'm at that age. I'm supposed to do a needle.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So Lexi, yes, you're exactly right. I typed in the chat while we were doing our commercial break that, for the announcements that were coming up, I was very excited, and I had an Easter egg in the background where my Jason mask normally is. I have placed this really fun Christmas hat, Jack Skellington, to commemorate my excitement for getting Ken Page. Really, really stoked about that one. I have watched Nightmare Before Christmas like 500 times. So yes, that was the Easter egg, Lexi. Good eye. Option to upgrade. Yes, Lisa, there is. If we add a group, so typically that is what happens is they will add another item and let people upgrade and pay the difference to add that person in. But it's still absolutely a nightmare to communicate with everyone who's already bought the photo op, that there was that addition. So it's just better, if we stagger them and we just put up the ones that are. And the biggest reason we did that is because we know so many folks wanted to get the Matt and Skeet photo op. As you can probably tell when you scroll down through there and you see all the sold out text under their photo ops. They have sold many, many sessions, and they will continue to sell those. So they'll still be available. But yeah, so any questions that you all have about anything we've gone over this far, please post those. The last thing that I really had on my list that I wanted to talk about is that you will be seeing very soon that our Scarefest Inc. artists will be getting posted. We're getting with them right now to get their booths finalized and all that good stuff, get us some photos in where we can get their graphics posted. And then if they're going to be scheduling appointments, we want to make sure that we have their best contact information we can give to you all. And I think some of you just thrive on waiting to join until 9:40 to ask who the guest announcements were. I see you all. I see you in the chat. But yeah, so we'll have the tattoo artists up soon. And then also the other thing is we've got some cool vehicles that we're working on bringing in. So we've already got like the coolest car, at least the most deadly around. We've got Christine. And then we've got the Jeepers Creepers truck, which is awesome because we're going to be offering a photo op with the truck and Jonathan Breck. But we are looking at getting a couple more vehicles. So not set in stone yet, but it's looking like we're probably going to get the Halloween wagon. And then hopefully we will be getting a Phantasm CUDA. So some really, really cool, unique photo ops in the works on that. Just we've got to pan out some logistics on getting those, figuring out where we're going to put them and get them into the building for their photo ops. But some pretty cool things.
I am still working on getting a windowless panel thing.
Okay.
The whole thing is, I can't afford to give away free candy anymore. Have you shopped for candy lately? I'll have to charge people like $3 to get in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with this economy, just kidnappers just have it real tough right now. Yeah. One of the questions, and Dina, I'm glad you brought this up because I haven't communicated this with the tattoo artists yet, but I had mentioned before in a live that if anybody wanted, I'm going to try to work with some of the tattoo artists to have some Scarefest already made up, like some flash pieces, the Scarefest logo. And I did say that if anybody wants to get a Scarefest weekend tattoo at Scarefest, that I will cover the cost of that. There's got to be a limit on it because I cannot pay for 20 of you to get Scarefest tattoos. So it's going to be a $50 limit on the tattoos. It'll probably either be small or partial payment. But once I figure out, prison tat, exactly, something small. But once I figure out an artist that can do us up some pretty cool little pieces, then yes, I would do that. So yeah, definitely let me know if you all are wanting to get a Scarefest weekend tattoo.
So pay the full price if it's a face tattoo.
I might actually. We'll see, but I might. It depends. If you're cute, I will. No, I'm just kidding. If the tattoo improves your face. Barbara asked, she said, I know we have some awesome after hours events now. Are you anticipating many daytime events like last year's cookie decorating? Yes. I had someone email me back today that wants to do a pumpkin carving demonstration, which I thought sounded like a pretty cool thing. But yes, we do anticipate. And then I don't know if he is still in the chat, but Rob Whalen did some awesome special effects classes for us last year. And we do plan on offering special effects classes this year. I think he said that it'll be about in the same, he is still in the chat. So Rob, if there's anything that you want us to talk about with the classes, we will be posting some information about those soon. We're still just waiting on a couple of things as far as the floor plan goes. The classroom won't be in the same place as last year because we're actually expanding our panel room. But really soon, we're going to have up our meeting rooms layout. At the very least, Brandon's working with Map Dynamics to get that put up. So when you go to the website, you click on the vendors tab, and there's an interactive floor plan. And that floor plan right now, it has last year's second floor on it. So don't pay any attention to that. It will change a little bit. And the panel room will encompass where the classroom was, and the classroom will most likely be right next to photo ops, which is going to be the other set of meeting space. And we will talk about all of that at length as we get closer to the show. But I just don't want to say, yes, it's going to be here, and then we change where it is. But definitely we'll be offering some pretty cool things to that regard. So Rob says, we're just waiting on a space. Come see us. You can learn prosthetic makeup and do hands-on stuff that you can keep. So he did some pretty cool wound stuff, and he did a class for kids last year too. So Sunday he will have a kid-friendly, Christy, I'm not getting a tattoo at Scarefest. Girl, you done lost your mind. Absolutely not. I can't sit still that long.
We're going to kick in our last commercial break and get in our Bonehead Weekly spot. We'll be back here in just a few minutes for the last of Scarefest TV tonight.
Treat Studios is a Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendor. Trick or Treat Studios is the one-stop shop for high-quality Halloween and horror. Shop masks, costumes, figures, collectibles, games, and more from your favorite movies. Find Trick or Treat Studios online at trickortreatstudios.com.
Joel at Robinson Hart is a Scarefest weekend sponsoring vendor. Joel Robinson has been the official Scarefest weekend artist since its beginning in 2008. Joel is a movie cover artist and a Universal Monsters artist. Visit Joel for posters, canvases, t-shirts, purses, and backpacks. Visit Joel's Etsy page at joelrobinsonart.com.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis with another review. Do you like shark movies? Do you like shark movies where they eat and chomp on people? Nom, 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 nom. Do you like movies that go to Paris? Well, okay, that's a little bit of a jump. Do you like French cuisine? Maybe eating Frenchmen? Nom, 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 nom. Then Under Paris is the movie for you. When I read I didn't know this movie's coming out. It's on Netflix, Under Paris. When I read about it, it's like, so the guy that directed Frontiers and a few other really good, well, decent horror films is Xavier Gens. French dude's going to be directing a movie about sharks under Paris. Okay, here's the plot. It is basically this lady, she's a scientist, and they're studying the effects of all the plastic and trash and everything in the water, and they're off one of these trash reefs with her husband and 3 or 4 others, and they go under, and they've been tracking this mako shark, and long story short, she survives. What happens is somehow or another, this mako shark is starting to adapt, like a lot of animals adapt, and it's adapting to the world that we live in with all this trash and being able to, food supplies, not, and guess where it goes? It goes to Paris, and somehow, over one course, 2 generations, it has learned how to adapt into fresh water, and it descends upon the river that flows through Paris, eating people. Chomp, 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 chomp. Should you see Under Paris? Actually, I really enjoyed the movie. It's dumb, okay? But it's dumb with a kind of a budget, and there's a sequence in the middle where they're under Paris that's, you're like, when did the blood? Oh, it's a bloodbath. There's 2 or 3 bloodbaths. So if you're thinking, I haven't seen any blood yet, you give it a minute. Give it a minute. There's bloodbaths. They find them in Paris, and of course, they're about to throw up some sort of Olympics or something, and they can't shut down the city. And what do you mean there's a shark? And then they find out that this shark may be breeding other baby sharks. And then there's some politician that won't let them have, that says, no, we're going to go out and keep the beaches open. I mean, keep the Paris River open. Yeah, there's a lot of Jaws ripoffs in this. In fact, there's one particular scene where the Mako is about to go back down. She's been caught in this net where it's clearly an allusion to the barrels. But should you watch Under Paris? It's dumb. It's so dumb. Some of the characters make so many stupid. It's just well made, and it's fun, and it's slightly different. And even though this plot's 100 years old, you love shark movies. It like nods to Jaws instead of just totally ripping it off. And I like the ending, which you don't hear from me a lot on this. It sets it up for things that I appreciate. It makes sense to the story. So, Under Paris, this has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Check out Under Paris on Netflix.
Welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Last 7 minutes or so of the show. So, the theme of tonight's is everything's coming along. Be patient on the stuff that we don't normally even talk about by now. And looks like we may have a good turnout for trivia. They're still talking about trivia in the chat.
Yeah, I saw. That's great. And yeah, I mean, we're there's going to be so much going on, guys. Just as well, you know, the launch events. There's multiple launch events. We're going to be announcing another event that we are coordinating with a local business. It's not a Scarefest event, but we did help them. Some of our celebrities will be in this event, and we'll probably be announcing that on Monday, I would say. Just waiting for their website to get updated. The event's actually created and the tickets are sellable, but you have to follow a specific link. And so we're going to get a little bit more information from them, and then we'll be posting that next Monday. That will also be a launch event on Thursday afternoon. And then, you know, of course, we've got events going on Friday night, Saturday night. We're looking at doing some Sunday night events this year because you all just can't get enough. And we have to expand our hours that we're going to be doing things. So when we all want to fall over at the end of the show and just not look at or see another, Scarefest logo for a month, but we're going to keep going because we love you all and we want to bring you all of the things. And we cannot fit all of the things into just 3, 4. How many nights are we up to now? I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of stuff going on. We are working on a way to make the website have even more information on it than it does while not being, too overwhelming. So we will be putting up a master schedule at some point in the future. We will be putting up, I'm trying to work on them to get up a things to do page where we can keep all of the things centralized, obviously, because we've got, the trading cards going on at the show. We've got entertainment going on during the show, and it's just too much to try to keep up with on Facebook. And also for the folks that are watching, I know a lot of you are active in our group on Facebook. We're going to really be tightening down the posts that we allow into the group, because if we have too much like non-related content in there, it kind of dilutes when we need to get information out. So it's not because we hate you if we don't approve your post. Well, maybe
sometimes I do it out of spite.
But just keep that in the back of your mind that we're not going to be approving all of the posts to the Scarefest group. If you got something super cool you want to share, throw it in the general chat. That's why it's there. So you can share the cool thing you want to see with your fellow horror people and not totally spam the group. But yeah, I think that is really all I have for tonight, unless anybody has any questions, things that we haven't covered.
Anything to add, Brandon?
I don't know. I think Adrian has covered everything.
Sorry. I feel like I did talk a lot.
No, I mean, she is. I mean, I just want to say on top of everything, like some of the stuff that she's talked about. I guess like one of her informal jobs is like making my dreams come true. So some of the stuff that she's talked about is stuff that like when I talk about like or when we bring it up, we're going over it. Like I turn into like a kid. And I was like, ooh, car, really?
One of the best things ever is when Brandon gets his like just horror nerd moments. And some of you have been lucky enough to see them, but one of the coolest things ever was getting to see at the end of Sunday in 2021, we had our Delta variants, right? From Evil Dead. And what was the one with the gun on the top that you got to ride out?
It was the Battle Delta. The guy, like, God, I blanked on his name. He was such an awesome dude. But he drove him down from Texas. And this was right in the middle of COVID. And he kept, like, you had to call it, like, the Delta.
Yeah,
like the Deltas. And it was COVID Delta. And so I was like, God, can't we just name him something else? But, yeah, the last day, man, like, I'd come over there and fanboyed with him all weekend. And he was getting ready to load out. And he was like, do you want to ride in the turret? And I was like, do I want to ride in the turret?
Nicole got
of course
a
I
video,
do.
didn't she?
Yeah, it was a picture. Like that was the first year that we'd come back into the new building. And it was just a whole new vibe. And just the end of it, the weekend, like that was my ultimate fanboy moment.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, and then the Killer Clowns playing basketball on Rupp Arena floor with the Killer Clowns.
Oh yeah, when we snuck down with so Herod Bank and some of those guys. So Herod actually he plays Slim, and he used to play college basketball.
Yeah, the dude's like 7 feet tall.
Oh yeah, super nice guy. I'm dying to have a Killer Clowns reunion again. But anyway, yeah, he was super nice guy. They got in complete garb, and we went down and snuck on the floor and played basketball.
Yeah, on the floor. For those of you who are wondering, that is where the UK, the University of Kentucky Wildcats play, is at Rupp Arena. It's attached to our building, and when you're the owner, you get to break into parts of the building that other people can't go into. And he went out on the floor, and I got some pretty cool pictures then. So there's a lot of, and honestly, that's where we, most of the ideas from this stuff is because it's like, Brandon's like, man, what would I want to do? And then, we make it happen.
I feel like, yeah, like, not that I know what I'm doing. I just,
Don't tell them.
No, I mean, I'm really, yeah, I mean, I don't. I just know, like, from going to shows and stuff, I'm like, oh, that would be cool. And it just so happens that like people agree with me. So hey, I'll roll with it.
Your madness is contagious. Awesome.
Okay, everybody. So that is Scarefest Television for Independence Day weekend. Hope everybody still has all their fingers, and we will see you next week.
I actually burnt the crap out of it.